Hi, back with another video. Hope you guys are doing well. So today I'm going to be kind of all over the place because I'm exhausted. I'm actually on vacation, but I knew I had to put this out. So it'll just be little clips that I'll try to put together. So we're talking about today, I'm going to say her name because we have to address some things. So we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj. So we all know that Nicki put out her new single, Super Freaky Girl. When she put it out, the reception was not too good in terms of the YouTube. And we can see that the lyric video is still at 3.4. You know, the audio is at 1.7. She put a Roman remix out that's supposed to have been all this and that, but it's only at 424. And then the remix, the audio is just at 182. So clearly, the YouTube kind of reflected what the general population was doing and or was feeling about the song. But then all that changed. So this is the next slide. So Nicki realized that the song was not picking up or didn't impact it as much as she wanted to, but she was not going to give up. So she went on AMP to address the reception of the song because it wasn't really picking up in terms of airplay. Radio was very low, and of course the YouTube was not responding. Now Spotify is a different thing, so we're going to cover that in a few. So let's listen to what she had to say.
Yes, I saw that Winston person due to some changes in the weight of Hot 100 Super figure is currently estimated at 228 points, 14 less than it was yesterday, and I'm just taking first place. It's like, yo. Yes, I saw that Winston person due to some changes in the weight of Hot 100 super figure is currently estimated at 228 points, 14 less than it was yesterday, and I'm just taking first place. It's like, yo. Yeah.
So this was just one of the clips. One of the things she said after this, I'm just not going to play all of them, is that basically what she was saying here, there's this guy on Twitter who puts out stats, and she was reading out a stat that was kind of showing that, oh, it's not kind of going number one. So he had put together some stats, and she basically said that, and she sounded like she was really down. She said she doesn't put out music to go number one. That's what she said. She doesn't put out music to go number one. That's when she was realizing that, it's not coming together. We got to reevaluate and do something else. Now, in comes Spotify, so we're going to look at that. Okay, so this is who she's talking about when she says Winston. So, Winston had written to Talk of the Charts. So if you know, Talk of the Charts is on Twitter, and they actually do respond when you write to them and ask them what the estimates are. They do respond. So he had put together a question asking, hey, is this what it's supposed, is this estimated at 242 points? Does it give that a lead? How accurate is this? So Talk of the Charts responds and says, it depends on how much it rises on Spotify. We don't have it that high right now. We have it number one best selling by units earned, 20% lead, but low radio airplay is hurting it. So that's that. And then if we look at where he had put it, was 242, but when it started out, the early predictions were showing it at number 2 with 227 points, right? And then 44,000 units. You can see the radio play was really low. You can see that the top 5 songs, actually top 10 songs, let's just keep it at 10, are all in the 2-digit numbers in millions. So her radio play was really low. The streams were going to do like 20.9. This was when she had just released one version of the song. So this is one of the Barbs, infamous Barbs, who really makes up stories about Cardi and Megan and how they're this and that and stalkers and flops. And she's always bigging up Nicki Minaj and making up stories to kind of pump her up and make her look like she's just this angel and, you know, just omnipresent person, godlike. So this was when the video came out and the song had just come out, and the Barbs were panicking because they realized that if they do not get a number one, if this song does not perform, that people are going to be on them and laugh and ridicule them. So they were panicking. So here you see this Black Tea blog was giving directive on how she thought YouTube would pick up, because she realized that the YouTube views were low. So she's like, I think I figured out the YouTube problem, and she was kind of giving directive of what to do to get the views up. Clearly that didn't work, because for some reason people didn't stream the song on YouTube either. So she was saying, trying to explain it, saying, it takes 48 hours to update, but it took 48 hours and it was still the same response. So that didn't work. In comes Spotify. So Spotify, Barb said, plan B. We need to figure out how to do this. This is all within a span of like a day and stuff. So the first 2 days. So I'm just throwing it all out. So all this year's pushing a narrative, using multiple blogs and massive platforms, accusing the other girls of using Payola and fraudulent tactics without any proof. Every day she proves she rants and cries about things she will have no problem using if it benefits her. What is this person talking about? The Barbs created a way to propel the song to get actually break a record of female rap first day sales. So we can read this thing slowly by slowly. Barb's giving directives, saying open your browser, search Spotify web player, open multiple tabs using incognito mode, then log into your accounts. This is what it should look like. So you can see that she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 windows open. And it says do not use VPN. The reason they say that is because VPN blocks the location of where you're coming from. If Spotify or Apple detects that they cannot confirm the location and it's not US based, then your streams don't count. So they're familiar with all of this. She understands you don't have to create Gmail accounts, just use random emails, and she gives you similar emails so that you don't forget. I did test this out, and Spotify does not verify the email. They just ask you for the email to set up. So they don't verify the email or anything. And of course it says use the same passwords. And she's like, she'll create Spotify accounts and email and password for those who are willing to help. And it says you could do it with a laptop or phone. And she's like, now that you guys know the method, it's up to you to decide whether you want to participate or not. Nobody's forcing you to create multiple accounts. The purpose of this page is to show you how to stream. So of course she has to say that, because it kind of doesn't want to look like, dude, you guys, this is a sense of urgency. But you can tell it's a sense of urgency for them to put all this together. And she says she'll be making another thread explaining the method in depth and showing you guys the exact same step using images. And a Barb responds and says it worked again. The method tested again on starships, waiting for Spotify to update. And then it says Nicki could easily break the solo debut by female rapper if 1K Barbs participate. Of course, here's the same thing. The method was tested on starships. Then it says don't share the method, keep it within Barbs only. But of course, there are people who get this information, because there's some people who are actually Barbs and Bardigang, or there are some people who are Beyonce fans and Nicki, or Beyonce and Cardi. So they're going to be in this thread because they support both. So it's going to get out either way. So you see this person says they already caught on on Twitter. And somebody had already put it out. Streaming farms working overtime. So you see this right here. And there were so many examples of Barb's trying to put out directives of how to get the number one. And Nicki's whole MO was always saying how the girls do certain things to manipulate sales. But here's the Barb's doing the exact same thing. But she never mentioned anything. Because these are Barb's that she follows. These are Barb's like Black Tea Blog. These are Barb's that she follows. All these people. And reads and sometimes responds and likes their comments. So she's very well aware. Okay, so remember how she said that on a clip on AMP that she doesn't put out songs to go number one. And she actually even said that she understood that the general population was not responding. What she means by general populations is people who are not Barbs. So for the most part, only the Barbs were really responding to this record and overstreaming it, however they were doing it. And it's interesting that she said she doesn't do number one, but put records for number one. But she kept posting all the stats that she was getting. First female rapper to do this, or first this and that. But this is one that was posted that was incorrect. So somebody, a Barb, put out, Super Freaky Girl has just become the first solo song by a female rapper to reach number one on Apple Music Global. And then Nicki posted it and said, Apple Music, Barb's, let's go. This is somebody who doesn't care about sales and being number one or stats, right? But she was wrong, because Megan Thee Stallion's Body reached number one on the global music chart for the first time. This is in 2020. She's in 2022. And CardiB also reached number two on the global Apple Music charts in 2021. So that was wrong. So just to finish off, I just feel like the whole persona that Nicki has is an act. She's not her true self. She lies to herself by saying she doesn't care about people saying certain things about certain girls, making it bigger than her on the charts and selling. When the girls sell, it's Payola and Sympathy. But Nicki has actually used Payola and Sympathy this time round. And probably before it just didn't work. When I was listening to Joe Budden podcast, he said something to the effect, her and her team have been working on this single because they're trying to get a big debut and make some money. So pretty much this was a single to kind of get them the WAP effect. And it was clear that Nicki is in Joe's mind, because they really talked down on Megan for the last two shows, acting like they don't understand what her moves are, but all of a sudden they understand that Nicki has to do this to sell. So Nicki did this because she's tired of people talking about her not yet being the number one solo female rapper with a Billboard. After all these years, Megan done got it, Cardi has gotten it, Doja has gotten it. I mean, pretty much damn near everybody has gotten it. And they have a Grammy too. She doesn't have one, so she got tired of that. But she pretends that she's not bothered by it. And that's what I don't like about her. She's very inauthentic. She's a liar. She lies to herself. She lies to her fans. But they buy it. And the funny thing about it is some of these fans are probably in their 30s and 40s. So we're grown. We're not like little kids to be manipulated, but they carry the narrative. They carry the narrative that she looks some ways in Instagram and she looks another way in real life, but they don't come at her. But if Cardi and Meg did what she's done to purport sales, influence the Barbs to create fake narratives, Photoshop, look one way and look the other, because she's always singing about people being ugly. Her coming at Megan and saying she sold more units than her whole album, and just insinuating that, she got her number one because of the ladies. She did admit to that. She said, she got it because of the back and forth on Twitter and all of that between the fan bases. So my thing is, if you can't get a number one record authentically without manipulating the crowds, is that really successful? To me, it's not. For me, it's like an NBA young boy. He releases stuff and he just doesn't care. He's like, whatever people consume, they consume. He's not motivated by social media. So when his fans respond, that's really successful. It shows, man, they're doing it the right way. They're not like doing streaming farms or anything like that. They're not manipulating stats. They're not using social manipulations. They're just getting it for what it is. Rod Wave is another one with a really good fan base. Beyonce is another one with a fan base. They don't have to do that, so it's authentic. Rihanna. But Nicki has to use all this tactics to get... Is she really that girl if she has to use all this tactics to stay on top? I personally think she's not. If she ever did a single as a solo, did not use social media and just put it out and it did well, I would respect that more than this. So that's all for my thoughts. And honestly, I recommend the Bardigang does not go back and forth with this lady or her fan base next week when she debuts at number one. It's not worth it. Save that energy. Stream hot-ish. Stream Offset's new single, 54321. Funk Master Flex indicated that there could be a remix to that song. So we'll see with CardiB actually. So just save your energy for that. It's like, let her have it, whatever. She's trying to set herself up to get a Grammy and all of that. Let her have it. Let her do whatever her tricks are. Let's just focus on Cardi. Let's focus on Offset. Let's focus on Bardigang. Forget other fan bases going back and forth or trying to think that they're going to support us the same way. They're not. So just let's focus on us. And that's how I end today.